What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Scratch Agency podcast, hosted by Scratch Agents for Scratch Agents. This show is brought to you by HawkSoft, your family-owned and operated agency management system serving independent agencies with teams from 1 to 300 plus employees. Brent from South Dakota says the HawkSoft accounting feature is worth its weight in gold. My name is Stephen Turnbull, founder of T5 Insurance Services in Clinton, New York, and I'm joined by my co-host today, the one and all you already know. Hold your applause, Mr. Sean Fitzgerald from Sound Harbor Insurance in Long Island, New York. Mr. Fitzgerald, little different intro this time around.
It sounds a little different. I heard 300 plus employees. Hey, let's talk about goals. Talk about goals.
You have to go back and rewind that. That's not talking about T5 when we talk about this. Listen, everybody, we're super excited to announce that we have entered into an amazing partnership with our friends at HawkSoft, who are now the sponsors of the Scratch Agency podcast. Super thankful to them for reaching out and just being cheerleaders of what we're doing. As you all know at this point, 150 something episodes in, Sean and I have just been documenting our journeys through this podcast for almost 3 years, which is kind of insane.
Yeah.
And these opportunities have come along to help us pour more into the show. A lot goes on in the background, and so to have partnerships like HawkSoft helps us achieve more of what we want to do with this great community that we've built. Started from Sean and I chopping it up to a few hundred subscribers on YouTube, to thousands of listens on other platforms, and a great community of almost 100 people. And so we're super excited to be partnered here with HawkSoft, and they're just a good company. They're a good company.
Sure.
I would say one thing that we talk a lot, Sean, about in this journey is about 99.8% of the entire journey was unexpected. Like we talked about it, guys. Like Sean didn't convince me, begged me for 6 months to do this. We did it. We documented, we met cool people. We had our meetup. All these things were unexpected. We just said, hey, let's just start talking about what it's like. And through that, we have gotten people or companies or whatever that have reached out and wanted to, be sponsors of the show, wanted to get in front of our audience. And it's been super important to Sean and I to find the right people and find the right companies that we believe in, number one, or number two, that we actually work with.
Correct.
Right. And it's not just we're going to say their name and hopefully you reach out to them. Like it's something to protect our audience, and it's got to be the right fit, and HawkSoft was the right fit, and we just appreciate them reaching out and looking forward to this next journey of this partnership. I don't know, Sean, if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, no, I mean, you took at the end what I was going to say there. Is like, I think that's the one thing you and I like completely aligned and agreed on was like, hey, we're willing to take on sponsorship, but we want to make sure either one of us uses the product and we both believe in the product. So for instance, you use HawkSoft. I don't use HawkSoft, unfortunately, because I'm tied into a decade-long blood contract with you know who. So I don't use them and, would be saving a boatload of money. But, that's another story. But I know the people over at HawkSoft, and they're great people. So I was totally cool with the sponsorship. You've had nothing but great experiences with them. So the stars aligned. We had multiple calls with them. We've had them on the podcast before. It was a no-brainer to me.
So shout out to my man Jeff White.
Yes, the man.
He's a good dude. He helped put it together, and
Yep.
and the one last thing just about the partnership too that I think is really cool is Jeff from HawkSoft. He reached out to us after he saw the meetup in DC and just basically said, hey, how can we do more with you guys? Like, I love what you're doing, building this community. So that was super cool how it just organically happened. I want to tell a quick story though about HawkSoft. My sales rep, his name is Matt Brower. We had him on the show over a year ago at this point. But when I was at my family's agency, we had HawkSoft. We were just newer with HawkSoft. Matt was our rep. And when I left, it was a no-brainer. Called Matt. I left and I started my own. I need to get up and running with the new agency, all this. 6 months go by. I'll leave names out of it, but there was another shiny object out there that was going to be the next best thing when it comes to an AMS system. Maybe it had a CRM in it, all that. I was this close 6 months into the agency, this close to leaving HawkSoft and going to that other company, which is now out of business.
Mhm.
And I talked to Matt about it very transparently. And Matt said, Steven, you can do whatever you want, but like, this is what I'm seeing out there in the field in regards to that other company. This is what I'm seeing for you. And he frankly saved me a lot of hard
Oh
times
yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
he was never, and this is just a testimonial to the people they have at that company. He was never like, please don't go. What can we do? Never offered like a discount to keep me, nothing. I
Yeah.
just said, I'm
Never
thinking of
bad
making this
mouthed other
move.
people or anything. Yeah.
Never once, just said, this is what I'm seeing with people that are maybe looking to make that transition. And I want you to know that. And it was
Yeah.
enough for me to say, Steven, you're an idiot. What are you doing? You're 6 months in, stay with what you know. And I'm
Yeah.
so thankful. So thankful. So we're gonna have some more people from them, their team kind of come on and spotlight stuff, but just super excited about it. With that said, Sean, 2026, twenty
Ooh,
twenty six.
already.
I just did a binder this morning for a closing
Same.
and had to put 2027 on the back end of the date. And I'm like, holy
My
crap,
God.
that's
Where does
insane.
time go? Where does time
What's
go?
what's Sean's number one goal for 2026?
Well, my goal for I have a couple for 2026. I'm going to start with a really simple one that I know you're going to get all warm and fluffy about, and that is gifting and doing handwritten thank you cards. I'm not a believer of like, hey, start this 1/1/2026. I already started doing it like a couple weeks ago, but I want to stay consistent with it through 26. Is if a client meets a certain threshold, let's just call them VIP, I am going to send them some sort of handwritten note,
Mm.
basically thanking them for joining the family, maybe congratulating them on their new house, whatever the case is. But for clients that are specifically, either it's like 3 policies or more, or generates more than 1,000 in revenue, whatever those metrics come out to for me. Um, but that is what I want to do more. And again, that goes more into, we're going to talk about it on the next episode, is like the power of asking for referrals. And I think that all kind of ties in. So you guys all know I'm a big lead generation, Google marketing, all that stuff guy. But I do want to add more of the personal touch going into 26. So that's part one. And then part two is we're consistently doing about 20,000 new business revenue a month. We want to get to 30,000. And we're bringing on the new producer. Was supposed to start this week. He's starting next week. So hopefully we can make that happen in 26.
Mm.
That's my plan.
Two things I got to say there. Well, actually, maybe one. They're the same. What I love that we've talked about a lot is on this journey that you just honed in and focused on what you knew you were good at and what you wanted to do, which was
Yes.
paid leads.
Yep.
And now you're saying this is running really well. And now it's time to pour a little bit of it into this other side of the
Well,
house that I need to work on.
it blends, it blends together. So like we get a
Hmm.
lot of, like, for instance, I got a Facebook lead a couple days ago that was like a $7 million house, right? So
Hmm.
that would be a perfect person, if I write, to send them a thank you card and ask for the referral.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'm just trying to tie it in to maximize the leads that we do bring in through our lead funnel. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I got a lot to learn from you. Let's just put it that way.
Can I add something for 30 seconds that's been really cool that has something to do with that?
Okay.
One thing with the send out cards that we do a lot of, that we've talked a lot
Mhm.
about a lot here, we created a custom GPT that'll take the picture of the new house and it makes it into like a cartoon picture of the new house with the family's name on it. And then furthermore, if we go into the risk profile and see that they have like a dog or something, they have a yellow lab, we can put a yellow lab on the front porch, completely customize it and send that as like the
That's
thank
cool.
you card. Raving reviews.
Yeah,
Raving reviews.
that's
And
cool.
it's so cool because like now like Emmanuel handles all this would be like make it wintry because like we're in the winter
Mm,
season. They bought their house in the winter, so it'll have like snow on the roof and all that. And like it's literally maybe an extra 30 seconds because we've set up the prompts and everything just to
that's
all he
cool.
does is grab the Zillow photo and put it in there. But like that extra touch, man,
It's
that
huge.
like that makes such a
So
difference.
I gotta add to this because of course you and I are gonna do this completely different. So I buy supplements from a company called First Form, and one of the things they did that just freaking blew me away, and I think I talked about this in the pod many episodes ago, is like they looked me up on social. I literally ordered a thing of protein. They looked me up on social media and saw I was having a baby, and they sent me a onesie with a handwritten note, but it wasn't on like a card. It was literally just written on the receipt. You could tell it was 100% handwritten. And I was just like, this is, and they've done other little things like that, like just on the receipt inside the box, handwritten note, thank you for continuing to trust us with your supplements, blah, 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 blah. And that alone, forget the customization stuff, like that alone made a big impact for me. So I'm trying to just do that on an easier scale. But I totally get, like, I think if you're gonna do the send out cards, the way you're doing it is the only way to do it, because if you just send a thank you send out card with no customization and it looks machine written, they're just gonna throw it out and
Yeah.
not be, excited about it whatsoever, you know? So, you're doing it the right
Yep.
way for sure. I just think there's 2
Yep.
ways to do it. Either go handwritten or go extreme customization, you know?
Hmm.
That's all I wanted to tie in there. So what about you? What do you got for 26? What's the plans? What's the goals?
Yeah, we got to change topics, or else that'd be like a half-hour conversation. I was gonna bring something else
I
up,
know you.
but we're not. Um, Here's my big goal. I mean, we got a lot, um, like everybody does. My one big goal is to be extra, extra aware of the numbers,
Yes.
understanding 110% of where's the money going, what do the ratios look like, what does the payroll to revenue look like,
Profit
where
margin.
what point do we have to get the profit margin, like I'll be transparent. I just haven't paid no attention to that. Not a Sean, not a lick of attention has gone to that topic because I log in and see if we got money. We're making
We're
money,
okay.
baby.
We're okay.
We're writing new
I
business.
could survive
We're good
another
to go.
month.
But it's just like what, like how do you really forecast a lot of the future without knowing what that's going to look
It's
like? And
tough.
so just cleaning that up. I got a local um fractional CFO that I work with that has helped me a lot to look at some points that need to be improved on or where we're at. And so just one of the big nuts is just being aware of that, understanding where we're at when the next hire comes. What does that look like at that point? And just being more in tune with that because frankly it's hard to do, especially when you're starting out, right? I mean, I'm hitting the 3.5 year mark, and it's just been, I say it jokingly, but I'm serious, of just like, yeah, we got money, I paid the bill, good. We're on to the next month. We made money this month. Perfect. Next,
It's
next, next. And then you wake up and it's 3.5 years later and you don't know where's shit going.
it's like it's the same thing in your personal life, man. Like your same thing with your personal budget. Like if you don't have a budget for yourself and you're not tracking all the expenses, they just pile up.
100%. Yeah.
Subscriptions get lost in the wind, and you look back and
Yep.
you're like, "Holy crap! I had 20 something thousand plus in expenses this month." It gets out of hand for sure. So yeah, you got to stay on top of it. That's something I 100% need to improve on as well. And the fact you
Y-
have a fractional CFO like that, Justin, that's huge.
Yeah. You know what I did twice that or twice. What I did last week, um with it being Christmas and a little slower and getting stuff kind of caught up. Two tools and technologies that I had were, I was able to cancel and move into existing pieces of technology we're using,
Mm.
or something that had a
Wait,
partnership. Like,
wait a second. Wait a second. Because you saved me hundreds of dollars by telling me to switch to an annual plan on a couple things too. To like you like remind I
yes,
knew that,
right,
but you reminded me,
yeah.
hey, 2026 is coming. Try to pay off any tech you have in full. See if you get a discount.
Mhm.
So like,
Or the other thing is, and while you're doing that process, ask them, is there any tech or anything that you guys like have partnerships with? And because
mm,
like my eSign platform, for example, I was paying a ton for our eSign platform, and found out our new one has a partnership with an existing technology we use. It's 25% of the cost it was
nice.
with the other one.
Yeah, it adds
So
up.
like, but that's little shit that you gotta like
Yeah,
focus on, and that'll change all the time as things come out.
for sure. Like looking
Um,
at it's like a tech. I call it like a tech review. Once a quarter, you got to look and just, dude. It's I'm like embarrassed to even say this,
I
but
like that
I looked at
once a quarter.
I
I
looked
like
at my
that.
Adobe, and I have a spreadsheet with just a list of all the tech. Like, dude, I found out Adobe. Like, I had to review my Adobe account, and I saw I had like 4 users on there. And I'm like, why do I have 4 users on Adobe? I can literally just use one. And that saved me like $200 a month. I'm like, this is like just stupid stuff like that that you just forget about when you're super busy running an agency, you know?
I like what you just said about a quarterly tech meeting because think about it. I mean, it's not. It sounds stupid. Yeah, I was able to save 200 a month. How long have I paid 200 a month? Sure, sounds stupid, but it's not because what are we doing every single day? Managing people, talking about growth, writing policies, sweeping the floor, all those things we're doing as agency
Review
owners.
it, review it, and then ask yourself, hey, did I use any of these products in the last 30 days?
100%. 100%. All right, Sean, we got to wrap this up
Yes, sir.
because we're getting to like real episode length here, and we didn't want to do that. But just what's coming down the pipeline, I will tell you with this partnership with HawkSoft, like I said in the beginning, when these opportunities come, we're excited to pour it back into what we're doing here. And so Sean and I have been working on a cool project in the background that's going to allow us to get closer. We'll leave it there. And it was just a big aha moment from that meetup in DC that
Yeah.
there really is a missing piece here that I think we can help with. Not saying we as Sean and Steven, we as the community can help each other with and achieve that way. So 2026, something cool and different that's coming that we're working on. Also, we're going to do the meetup again. We're figuring out that stuff, so just stay tuned and stay close to that. But
Yep.
everybody, just thank you so much for the support in 25. We're looking forward to the new year. We all hey, it's Tuesday, December 30th, Sean. In 2 days, we all start back over in zero, baby.
Let's do it.
Right back
I'm
over in
ready.
zero. Looking forward to being on the journey with each and every one of you. That's another episode of the Scratch Agency Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Do us a favor, like the show, share the show, and subscribe. Most importantly, remember to dig down deep, believe in yourself, and own your own future. We'll see you next week. Take care.